Hello, it is Permanent Root and welcome to TryHackMe's ToolsRus room walkthrough. This is the easy and beginner-friendly room, which allows us to practice with a lot of tools such as Dirbuster, Hydra, Nmap, and others. So, as you can see, target machine is up and running. I'm connected to the VPN network, so we can get straight to the enumeration. So, before running any commands, I like to use the export command with the variable name, which is IP, and its value, which is the IP address. So after running this command, we can now simply use $IP in any command such as ping $IP, and it will use the machine's IP address. So after that, the first utility we can run is the Nmap. I've already done it, so we can just simply check the results. Let's see the Nmap_scan. Here is the command for you to run if you want to. And as you can see, we have 4 ports open. One is the SSH and 3 web ports. Let's switch off to the browser and see what's on the default port 80. As you can see, I'm visiting machine's IP address, and here is the message, which is unfortunately ToolsRus is down for upgrades. Other parts of the website is still functional. So we can enumerate this website to see if we can get some hidden directories or files. For this, we will use the Dirbuster utility, which is simply ran as Dirbuster, and it will open the graphical user interface for you, where you can specify the target URL, which is 10.10.227.3.1, and we need to provide it with a word list. So in my case, it will be the user share word lists, and here I'll choose the dirb and the common word list. Also, don't forget to use this option go faster, so it will provide you the results faster. And now you can simply click start, and it will take like a minute or so to get you results. So I'll pause the video and I'll see you with the Dirbuster results. So it really took a minute, and now we can switch off to the results page and select type to split it for directories and files. As you can see, we have this directory called guidelines and the second one, which is protected. Other one, directories and files, are a bunch of default Apache files and directories. So we are interested in those two. First of all, let's visit the guidelines. So now that we have 2 directories via the Dirbuster output, we can enumerate them in order. First, let's visit guidelines. And here we have this message. Hey Bob, did you update the Tomcat server? Where we have this possible username, which is Bob. And at the second directory, which is the protected, we have this basic authentication form, which asks us to provide a username and a password. To get ourselves a password, we can use a utility called Hydra, where we specify a word list, and it will send a bunch of requests to get ourselves a valid password. But before that, we need to know which type of request to use, and for this case, I'll use the program called Burp Suite. I'm already running Burp in the background. Now I need to set up it in the browser. So I'll just click cancel, and I'll turn on the Burp Suite proxy and again visit this page. We have this request. Let's just click forward in a Burp Suite, and we get a login window. Let's use credentials as Bob and some random password, which is 1234. And as you can see, we have a request, which is a GET request to the protected directory. And the authorization is basic, and this string is just a base64 encoded string of username, password. Now that we know the request format, we can try and use Hydra to brute force this web login form. To use Hydra, we need to run this command, which is Hydra -l and the username and -P, which is providing us with the word list. In my case, it's RockU, and I encourage you to use it. With this word list, you will definitely get a valid password. Again, I'm specifying $IP, which is the IP address of the machine, and type of the request, which is HTTP GET, and in quotes, I'm specifying the directory, which is /protected. I won't run this command because I won't show you the password, but you can run it on your own and you will definitely get the password like in 10 seconds or so. Now, after getting a valid password for user Bob, we can authenticate to this web form. So first of all, I'll turn off the proxy and I'll visit the page again. So at this stage, you will have a password. So just specify it. And here's another message. This protected page has now moved to a different port. And from the Nmap output, we got some other ports. One of them is 1234. So let's switch to the 1234. And here is the Apache Tomcat homepage, where we have a bunch of documentation, help, and other things. Also, all the questions regarding versioning you can get from the Nmap output or from this page. For example, on port 1234, we have an Apache Tomcat version 7.0.8080. So at this stage, we need to try and go to the manager app, which is kind of an admin page. Again, we have a web authentication form. Let's assume that Bob is not a great security administrator and he used the same password. So let's specify the same password that we found via Hydra. And we're in. So nice, we have access to the Tomcat Web Application Manager. At this point, Room asks you to enumerate it via Nikto, which is another utility to scan websites for some hidden files, directories, and other things. To use Nikto and enumerate this page, you can simply run this command, which is nikto-h, specify the URL and the parameter -id, username, colon, password. You will have the password from Hydra. And the format, it's optional. I'm using the nikto_scan.htm to open it in the browser, and I'm also redirecting the output into the niktoscan.txt. So after running this command, you will have this file called nikto.txt, where you'll have a bunch of info, like a lot of. And as you can see, we were successfully authenticated with user supplied credentials. So our credentials worked and Nikto did actually enumerate this page. You have a question regarding the documentation entries, and to see this, we can simply grab with the word documentation, and here are the 5 entries at the host manager. There are Tomcat documentation found. At this point, you will have some more questions regarding the versioning, but you will find all the necessary info from your Nmap scan. So we have this Apache 2.4.18, we have Apache Coyote 1.1. So I hope it won't be a problem for you to answer all those questions from the Nmap output on your own. Now, after dealing with all the questions regarding versioning, we need to get a reverse shell access to this machine. And for this, we will use the last utility suggested by this room, which is Metasploit. Let's run MSF console. And in this utility, we'll find some available exploits for Apache Tomcat Manager, and if we're lucky, we will get a reverse shell. So, first of all, let's search for Apache Tomcat Manager. This is the program we have access to via this link, which is on port 1234. As you can see, we have a few exploits and auxiliary scripts available for us, but we're interested in this option, which is a number 2, and it has a rank of excellent, and the description is Apache Tomcat Manager authenticated upload code execution. This is a great option for us, because if we can execute some code, we can get a reverse shell. So to use this exploit, simply provide the use 2, because it has number 2. And as you can see, we have a payload as the Metasploit reverse TCP shell. Now we need to specify options. First, let's see which options we have with the command show options. We need to specify, of course, the authentication parameters, which is HTTP password and HTTP username, host, IP address of the machine we're attacking. Also, don't forget to change the port, which is the port we are attacking, and it's not 80, it's 1234. And for me, I need to change the IP address because it's using my machine's IP address and not the VPN interface IP. So to change any parameters, you can simply use the command set parameter, for example, port, and its value, which will be 1234. As you can see, remote port is now 1234. Again, I won't show you how to specify the password to not show you the actual password for Bob user, so you can do this on your own. So now, as you can see, we have HTTP username Bob, HTTP password is upper. We have host, which is the machine's IP, remote port, which is 1234, target URI is the default, which is manager, and I've also set up my VPN's interface IP address. Now we need to simply run the command exploit or run, and if we are lucky, we will have an access. Yes, as you can see, my prompt changed to Metasploit, and now I can run some basic Linux commands and Metasploit commands. For example, I can run command called shell to get myself a regular shell or bash. Now I can run command who am I, and as you can see, I'm root, so we have an access to the machine as a root user. Let's go to the roots directory and see if we have some files. Of course, we have this file called flag.txt. We can simply cat flag.txt and you will finish this room at this point. So it's not a very hard room, as you can see, but it allows you to test your knowledge on using different utilities. So thank you a lot if you watched till this point. Leave a like or dislike on this video, leave your thoughts in the comments down below, or if you have some questions, subscribe to this channel. It will have much more TryHackMe content, and I'll see you in the next video.